Hi, this is disability attorney Andrew November, and you're watching Andrew's Answers. This is a question I get pretty frequently, and that is, how does my short-term disability work with long-term disability? So, as I always say in my video, it depends, but there are a lot of hard and fast rules or things that I see happen all the time. So, most people will get short-term disability for 3 to 6 months. I would say 6 months is the most common. Sometimes people have short-term disability administered by one company and long-term disability administered by others. So in that situation, it will be challenging on how to start your long-term application. And I would ask you to call me right away because that's a unique situation. But most people are going to find that the same insurance company is administering both the short and long term. Get your policy documents. You need a copy of your short term and long term policy. One, that will help me prepare you for the transition and explain to you what you need to know. Second, you need to have a conversation with your medical team. I've encountered, I don't know why this is, I don't get it, but I've encountered a lot of doctors out there who seem more comfortable just helping on the short term but not the long term. I'm sure they have their reasons. They don't make sense to me. But I encourage you to make sure that your physician is behind you. The long-term application process can be difficult, and sometimes it can be more extensive of an investigation than your short term. So you really need to have your doctor involved and on your side. So if you're in short term and you think you're going to transition to long term, have a conversation with your doctor. That's incredibly important. Also, make sure you're seeing the right doctors. If you think that this case is going to go on for a while, we need you to have the right doctors. We can't rely most likely just on your primary care physician. I often find that it's usually that doctor who's filling out the forms for short term. Now, I will have another video coming up soon about how to perfect your medical evidence, and I think that would be a great video to watch after this video so you can get a better idea of the medical evidence you would need for a long-term disability application. Sometimes policies have waiting periods. Short-term waiting periods, usually just a week, 2 weeks maybe, and then if you're disabled through that waiting period for the full time, your benefits will begin. Long-term disability is almost always a 6-month wait. I've seen it shorter, but I think it's fair to say that you probably have a 6-month wait. Hopefully, your short-term disability policy is equal to that waiting period. That way, you can smoothly transition without any loss of money. However, as I said earlier in the video, it's very important that you have both your short-term and long-term plans available for me to look at so I can tell you if there's a gap. I do see it from time to time. It's news I don't like to deliver, but if I can tell you up front that your LTD waiting period is longer than the maximum duration of your short-term disability benefits, you can do some financial planning at the outset, which will save you a huge headache. So again, get your plan documents. You are legally entitled to them. If you need help getting them, you let me know.